Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of The Curious Card, where we look at fun Pokemon cards and see what kind of decks we can make with them on PTCGO and see if we can actually get some wins with them. Today we're going to be looking at a deck that has been around for a long time. This is the Round deck, a very fun and very simple deck that revolves around Seismitoad EX, a Stage 2. So Seismitoad has 140 hit points, weak to grass, and knows the Round attack. Does 30 damage times the number of your Pokemon that have the round attack. Really simple and only costs a double colorless energy. So the idea here is we're just going to get as many Pokemon out that know the round attack and start using round for lots and lots of damage. So what else in this deck knows the round attack? That would be Palpitoad, the stage 1 of Seismitoad, conveniently enough. And also this Meloetta EX from Legendary Treasures is a basic that knows the round attack. This deck would really not function without Meloetta, and she was only released in Legendary Treasures, so this deck has only become like kind of competitive, almost maybe, sort of not really, when Legendary Treasures came out. As a matter of fact, the only Pokemon in this deck that doesn't know round is Temple. So he's kind of dropping the ball on that, but this deck would probably be broken if Temple knew round. So that's alright. So, like I said, really simple deck. We need to get out as many rounders as possible, and if we can get out 6 Pokemon that know round, that's 180 damage, and that's enough to knock out any EX short of a Mega. So the Pokemon in this deck are standard. I would say if you're going to make this at home, don't change any of the Pokemon. It's not worth it to put in here anything that doesn't know round except for Temple. And any of the other Pokemon that know round, there is an Exploud, and there was a Wigglytuff, but that got rotated, are just subpar compared to these two sets of Pokemon. So I wouldn't recommend anything except for these. The trainer cards in the deck are pretty heavy counts of most of the same cards. Lots of 4-ofs, lots of 3-ofs. Well, just one 3-of, but heavy counts anyway. This deck took a pretty heavy loss from the rotation in that it lost Level Ball, which was a standard 4-of in this deck. You would run 4 Level Ball and 4 Ultra Ball, and that was your search. And that usually got out as many Pokemon as you needed really quickly. This is a bit unusual for a Stage 2 deck, because Stage 2 decks really usually just need to get out one of their Stage 2s, like, say, Blastoise, and then they can get rolling. This deck, though, needs to get as many Seismitoad out as quickly as possible. So that's why we don't run cards like Skyla. They're just too slow. Mostly, the draw support that we run is just massive Shuffle Draw for Colress, for Juniper, for N, Ashana, because I can't think of any other draw support, but we needed one more. And so that's why we don't run Skyla in here. It's just too slow. Our search for the deck is Pokemon Fan Club. This has kind of come to replace Level Ball. It's nowhere near as good, but it'll have to do because there's not much else that can take the place of Level Ball. So, searching your deck for 2 basic Pokemon, great early game, can be nice late game, but you definitely want to see this card on turn 1. We also have 4 Ultra Ball. I think most of y'all probably know what this is. Discard 2 cards, get any Pokemon card from your deck. And I'm worried that some of y'all were tempted to close this video as soon as you saw the deck list because you saw the dreaded Great Ball in here. I don't blame you. 49 out of 50 decks should not run Great Ball. I tell everyone I know, friends don't let friends play Great Ball. But in this deck, with Level Ball gone, we need some extra item search. And so that's what Great Ball gets us. The rationale here is that you're generally going to be happy to see almost any Pokemon that you get with Great Ball. You know, in Meloetta, you can always just plop down on your bench. Oftentimes you'll have like a Temple and a Palpitoad on your bench, and you're just looking for an evolution of any kind with Great Ball. And just getting a Temple, if you've got a free spot on your bench, any of those Pokemon, you're usually happy to see. So as long as Great Ball's netting you a Pokemon, it's not usually a waste of a search card. It's going to be something you want to see. So just take my word on that. It is useful on here. The other trainer cards, we run Computer Search just for that extra search. You can play Dazzling Machine, but I think Computer Search's ability to search out special energies like double colorless really just make it the A-spec of choice in here. Otherwise, we've got 4 rare candy, just for that extra speed. A Sacred Ash. If you want to cut a Great Ball for a Sacred Ash, that wouldn't be a bad choice. We do need to recover oftentimes from some early game knockouts. We try to be a fast deck, but those big Pokemon EX are oftentimes just too fast for us to handle, so some early Tempo and Meloetta knockouts sometimes is inevitable. The last card in here is these are 4 Silver Bangles, which may seem a bit like overkill to you, but this is such an important card in here. Does 30 damage to active Pokemon EX if this card is attached to a non-Pokemon EX. So what that basically does is that gets you an extra rounder when you're fighting a Pokemon EX, when this is attached to Seismitoad. The reason we don't play Muscle Band in here is it's actually pretty easy to knock out non-Pokemon EX. They generally cap out at about, 140 damage on like an Empoleon or something. And so 150 damage, not terribly hard for this deck to hit. Just a few Meloettas out, like 3, a Palpitoad and a Seismitoad, and you've got the knockout. But the situation that you'll often find yourself in is, say you've got a Seismitoad active, and a Seismitoad on your bench, and 4 Meloetta on the field, which can often happen late game. And say your active Seismitoad gets knocked out. You have to promote the Seismitoad on your bench, and you're doing 150 damage, but you have no way to get another rounder in play. And so that's where Silver Bangle comes in handy. If you're facing down, say, a Lugia EX with 180 hit points, you're definitely going to prefer Silver Bangle to Muscle Band. We run 4 of them, partly because we don't have Skyla, and so we basically just need to draw them when we play our draw supports. If we played Skyla, we could probably drop it to a lower count just because we could search for it, but we don't, so we just play a high count of that. We play a high count of a lot of things in this deck. So that's about it. We've got 4 DC and 6 Water Energy. You can run Psychic if you want. It really probably doesn't matter. 99% of games you will not care what kind of energy this is. Meloetta EX does have the round attack, but don't ever use that. So a few general notes on this deck. It has some actually pretty good matchups against meta decks, including against Landorus fighting decks, which are weak to water. Against Pyroar, certainly an easy matchup. Against Garbodor decks, another really nice feature, maybe my favorite of this deck, is that Garbodor does absolutely nothing to you, so you don't need to worry about that. Even against Seismitoad's big brother, Seismitoad EX, which is currently contending for the most annoying card in format, it doesn't have the effect on this deck that it has on other Stage 2 decks that rely on rare candy. Because we run 4 of that Palpitoad, we don't enjoy having our items cut off for sure, but it doesn't affect us as much as other Stage 2 decks, because if we can just draw into the Palpitoads, then we can just evolve from Basic to Stage 1 to Stage 2. The only really atrocious matchup, just gross, that this deck has is Virizion Genesect, and that's because of that resistance on Virizion, and the fact that with a Muscle Band, Virizion EX can actually one-hit KO any of our Grass-weak Toads. So that's really, really nasty. We just hope we don't run into those. There's really kind of no fixing that matchup. So yeah, let's take a look at a game that I played on PTCGO with this deck.
Alright, so we're going up against Deep Crow, 4-4-3-4. I will call Tails. I always call Tails. Never fails, except when it does, which is roughly 50% of the time. Yes, I would like to go first. We're starting with Meloetta. I've played this deck off and on for a while now, and I'm still not sure who I prefer to start with. Meloetta's, you can't really attack with her, but Temple's so vulnerable, I really just don't know. So we immediately see a Seismitoad, and my hand is full of rare candies and other things I cannot play. So I'm going to have to Juniper that. Might be for the best. Once that Seismitoad quaking punches us, we're not going to be able to play any items anyway, so might be for the best that that happened. So we will Ultra Ball here and get our first Temple. We did get another Meloetta off of that Juniper, so not a terrible start, but it could go quickly downhill if we get Quaking Punched along with Laser and all kinds of stuff. Well, there's the Verbank. There's the Muscle Band. Sad things are about to happen, I'm sure. Oh, there's an N. All right. We got a Chorus, so hopefully they'll bench some stuff. Yeah, there they go. We've got a third Meloetta and an Ultra Ball. I don't know if we'll play that. I do get lasered. So far, we haven't seen a double colorless, though. In fact, we saw that Dart go down to the Yveltal, so we most certainly will not be Quaking Punched this turn. Draw, and we top deck a Temple. So that's great. We've got a lot of basics down already. So the question here is, do we play the Ultra Ball? And I don't think so. I think we're going to save that, even though it'll be a dead card later after we get Quaking Punched. We're just going to chorus here for a healthy 6 cards. And get more Ultra Balls. So this Ultra Ball we certainly will play. Probably gets, we can't evolve the other Temple, we'll evolve the one we've already have down. Probably just put down a Palpitoad on that. And the question is whether we want to retreat after that. If we do, we risk being Quaking Punched and lasered for the KO. But I really don't want to leave Meloetta out there, so we're going to risk it. He didn't have the DC last turn. Might not have it this turn. He's only got 2 cards in hand. So we'll see. Oh, no, there's the double colors. So a laser here would knock us out, but it looks like he doesn't have a supporter. So that's fine with me. Even more fine with me is that we just drew a Seismitoad, and we are 1 Palpitoad or Meloetta away from having 180 damage output. And there we go, we get 2 Palpitoads off of the chorus. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounders and the Silver Bangle. So this is where Silver Bangle is such a big deal. That Seismitoad has 180 hit points. Silver Bangle says, that's fine with me. You're going down, buddy. Big brother Seismitoad. And we get 2 great balls off of those 2 prizes, just like that. 1/3 of the way to winning. I do see a dowsing machine from my opponent. We're going to get in, so we're going to lose those great balls. Serves me right for playing them. But if we do draw them, we'll be able to use them because Seismitoad is now gone. So we do have our search back online. That's a huge deal. But this Yveltal is looking like it's going to knock us out. An Evil Ball here will do 100, and that is quite sufficient. So we're going to have to get some luck here. First of all, we're going to need a Seismitoad. And then another rounder, a Meloetta, would be huge, but that's a lot to ask for. We do draw a double colorless, which is frustrating. I don't like wasting those, but we'll just slap it on Meloetta. Maybe we can, if we miss the Seismitoad here, we can like use her first attack. We do draw an Ultra Ball and a Great Ball. If we can get a Meloetta off of this Great Ball or a Seismitoad, either one would be huge. We play it, and we do snag the last Meloetta. That is awesome. It means we're going to get another knockout on an EX this turn, assuming the other Seismitoad is here. We're going to Ultra Ball for that Seismitoad. We do still have the Silver Bangle on this one, so we could throw this Bangle away, or we could throw away the Rare Candy. I'm really not sure. I don't think there's really a wrong decision on that. And it looks like we might actually only have 1 Seismitoad left in the deck. So it's a good thing we got that Ultra Ball, because it's unlikely we were going to draw into it just straight up. And so we've got another round for 180, and just like that, back-to-back EX prizes. When this deck works, it works. And look at that. All my opponent is left with is a Darkrai and a Trubbish. No energy in play. But Hypnotoxic Laser and some unlucky flips like that could cause us some problems. There's a Floatstone. So I guess he's realized that Garbodor is not going to do anything in this matchup. The Garbodor line has actually helped me so far because I've been chorusing for more cards because of that Trubbish. See, an Ultra Ball, that goes for the baby Yveltal. That's probably the best thing he could hope for right now. And a Juniper. So just a Dark Energy. And he'll be able to get rolling again with that first attack, Oblivion Wing. Retrieving some of the energy from the discard pile that he lost from the big Yveltal. And I should have mentioned, I apologize, my keyboard has some abandonment issues. So it occasionally comes on here telling me that it feels disconnected from me. So I think my mouse does that too, so sorry about that. Do get Oblivion Wing. The energy is going to go on to Yveltal EX. Please wake up. No. Okay. Well, a card I probably should run in here is Switch. I don't. Mainly because I don't run Skyla, and so I can't search for it on demand. We do get the Sacred Ash, though. That's really big. Get 2 of those Seismitoads back. We do have the Pokemon Fan Club. I don't see any reason to play the Juniper just yet, so we're going to play this conservatively. Seismitoad is probably going to go down this turn, or this next turn, so we should grab 2 Timples with this Fan Club that we're about to play. We'll be able to bench 1 now and 1 next turn, and I have a feeling we're going to need both of those this game. This game just got a lot harder because of that Sleep Flip. Yeah, I think an Oblivion Wing will actually be enough for the knockout with the poison going back into my turn. Hello, keyboard. Hello, keyboard. Yeah. So that Yveltal EX, I think, is going to be our last obstacle after we manage to knock out this smaller Yveltal. Plays a Skyla, that could go for all kinds of things. I guess probably a supporter, because he only has a 2-card hand. 1 card now that he's played the Skyla. But no, he goes for the Hypnotoxic Laser. Wonder if he's running short on draw. Geez, I don't know. Definitely would have gone for a supporter. I guess he already has one. He's just getting ready for the laser next turn. Wants to make sure he has it. He's going to Oblivion Wing, get another energy onto the Darkrai. Don't know how I feel about that. Seems like you should go ahead and put it on the Yveltal because he does need 4 energy for the knockout. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 4 energy. We draw an in. I'm going to just Juniper that away. That's not going to be much help to us. Not a bad hand. Hoping we don't get into here. We should be set for the next turn. We get the other water energy we need. And a double colorless for the Temple on the next turn. And the Seismitoad and a computer search. So we should be in very good shape. Unfortunately, we can't really do much this turn with the Toads. So we're going to Brilliant Voice, which is like one of the big no-nos with this deck, but we have to do it. So we're going to try to put them to sleep. We would need a heads for that. And there's a heads. And if there is any justice in this world, they will flip tails. They don't. So we're probably going to get Evil Balled here for the knockout for 2 prizes. That is the sad thing about Meloetta. She's worth 2 prizes. Super good in this deck, but a 2 prize thing is super annoying. We're going to get End to 2 cards, but they are probably the best 2 cards we could have drawn. A Juniper and a Seismitoad. And wow, looks like he's just going to Oblivion Wing. That is really interesting. He seems to be spreading his energy out here. I'm not sure why he would do that, unless maybe he's like trying to set up a double knockout somehow with Night Spear. We'll go ahead and Juniper there. We don't have many cards left in deck, but that's alright. We should be able to close out the game before then, one way or the other. We could draw the other double colorless. And I think my last Silver Bangle is still in my deck. So the plan here is to retreat round for an easy knockout on this Yveltal. The opposing Yveltal EX will come up and take a knockout on us, assuming they have another energy or a muscle band. And then this is the situation I was talking about with where Silver Bangle is so good. We have a Toad active and a Toad on the bench. The one active is about to be knocked out, and so we're going to promote the other Toad afterwards, and we're going to need that Bangle to get this knockout. Muscle Band would do it too in this situation because Yveltal only has 170 hit points, but still, the tools are just so important. And we do see a chorus, so we don't get end. So we should be able to just draw the rest of my deck next turn. Hello, mouse. So there's a Evil Ball for a perfect 140. And so now I think we should have the game. Take these last two prizes. We really just need to take one. So it should be noticed we did take 7 prizes this game with the round deck. So maybe this deck has more potential than people give it credit for. We're going to Great Ball, just confirm that the Silver Bangle is still in my deck, and then Chorus for the rest of my deck and the game. There it is. So round for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 180. 6 times 30. So, oh, mystery box? No. I've never played in one of those tournaments. Hopefully one day I'll get to. So yeah, this has been the round deck. Has more potential than people give it credit for, I think. So this is Calvin with the Curious card, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.